everybody, welcome to our group. I'm Renee Magero. I am a social worker and have been for over 20 years. The purpose of this group is that we can all get together and talk about you all being recently diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. Everything that's said in this group will remain confidential among the five of us. The only time that it won't is if anybody threatens to harm themselves or to harm somebody else. That would be the only reason why we would break confidentiality. I'd like to go around and have everybody introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves and the diagnosis that you have. Start?
I can start. I'm Stephanie and I have heart failure.
Okay. And are you married?
I'm married. I have 2 children, 2 grandchildren, and 2 dogs. So 2 of everything except a husband.
Okay. And are you still working?
I am still working.
Are you working full-time or part-time?
I'm working full-time right now.
Okay. And Tom?
Hi, I'm Tom. I am married with 2 children, 2 boys, teenagers. My mother also lives with us, and she has dementia, and I have been diagnosed with early onset.
Okay. All right. And are you still working?
I am still trying to work, yes.
Okay. All right.
Hi, I'm Tina. I'm married with 2 children, a 25-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter. I've been a teacher of 7th grade English for 22 years, so I'm still working, and I've recently been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Okay.
And my name is Kevin. I have 2 sons, both in their late teens, and I am married, beautiful wife, and I'm a bakery manager, and I'm still working. And unfortunately, I've been recently diagnosed with COPD.
All right. I'd like to kind of start the group by beginning, and we'll begin each session like this with a relaxation technique, kind of to have you do this, and you can do it daily if you want. I'm going to ask you for homework for next week to have you practice this technique at least 3 times during the week. I provided you with a notebook that you can also use to do any journaling on how you're feeling, but I'd also like you to mark down what days you tried to do the relaxation technique. And we're going to start this by, I'm going to have everybody close their eyes.
When are we meeting next week?
We're meeting on Tuesday at 7. Okay, everybody will close their eyes. And we're going to picture being on the beach, sitting in the sand with our toes in the sand. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keep breathing in, deep breath in, deep breath out.
Excuse me.
Sorry. If you could also begin to imagine the waves lapping onto the beach, and you can see the clear blue water. You can feel the sun beating down on you and the heat of the sun warming up your body. And you are just sitting on the beach, breathing in, breathing out, relaxing. Okay. Everybody can open their eyes. How did that make you feel?
I felt pretty relaxed. The breathing was difficult with my COPD, but I did feel at peace.
Okay. That's something that you can practice if you're beginning to feel overwhelmed or stressed. Either if you're at home or if you're at your doctor's appointment, if you are going through your chemo treatments and you just need to take a moment to just kind of calm yourself down. Or even if you need to talk to your kids and they're having a hard time dealing with your diagnosis. So what I'd like to have you do now is I provided you with a notebook, and we're going to have you open the notebook. And what we're going to do is we're going to have you think for a minute or two, think about how this diagnosis has redefined you with your family. What's changed or what your thoughts are. I'd like you to use I statements when you're doing this. An example of this is, I feel like I'm having anxiety when I'm talking to my family about my diagnosis. So if you can just sit and take a couple of minutes and write a couple of statements about how you're feeling. Okay. Can you, Stephanie, review just a couple of your statements if you feel comfortable? Just one or two.
I feel very tired right now. I feel confused, sad, scared. I'm worried, and when I think about it all, I'm also grateful and hopeful that if I do what I'm told to do, that I'll get better.
Okay. All right. Tom?
I wrote 3 things down, and I just realized that 2 of them are the same. The first one says, I get anxious when I think I may start forgetting a lot, similar to my mother. And then the last thing was, I get anxious when thinking I will forget things.
Okay.
And then the second thing I wrote down is, I get anxious because no one knows the course of this disease.
Okay.
I noticed that all of my statements begin with I fear. So I fear that I will lose my sexuality, and another big one is that I fear I won't be there for my children if I don't survive this.
Okay.
Well, I am a little angry. I wish my father didn't smoke 2 packs a day. I don't understand how I got this terrible disease, but I do know that I will beat this. And I wrote down that I need my family's love and support now more than ever.
Okay. So part of this activity is so that we can work with communications with you when you're talking with your family, so that you can kind of review what you're feeling and what's going on inside you, so that they are able to know where you are coming from emotionally. But it also gives you the opportunity to be able to teach them this same technique so that they can use it with you, so that throughout this process you all have open communication with your family. So that's the purpose of doing this activity so that you can work towards teaching them what you're learning here to communicate better with them. Have any of you talked with your families about your diagnosis yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable, or do you feel that you're ready to do that?
They know I'm ill and I've not been feeling well. They don't know the severity of it, and every time I think I'm going to speak with them, there's a reason why I don't.
Do you feel more comfortable now that we've done this activity and you've been able to write down what your concerns are and your thoughts are? Would you be able to communicate those to your family?
Could, and at the same time I'll be worried about them
Okay.
and how they feel.
All right. Do you think that you can teach them how to use the I statements to repeat back to you what they're feeling, so that there's some open communication?
I could, but I also think that they may not be completely honest because they will also want to protect me.
Correct. And that's very understandable. You're trying to protect them and they will want to protect you. But if you continue to potentially use this technique, you might be able to facilitate some open communication as you process through this journey.
Okay, we can try that.
You can try that. Okay. All right. I think what we'll do now is we'll take a 15-minute break and then we'll come back and restart again.